Hey y'all, and welcome to the Ladywing Designs channel. My name is Zakia, and Happy New Year! Welcome to 2026. So, like I said, my name is Zakia. Welcome in to all the viewers, whether you're new or returning. I appreciate you being here and hanging out with me today. So this, as you can see by the title, is a WIP update. I thought about changing the title and nothing else sounded right. I thought about project update or craft update, and now that I'm recording, of course, craft update doesn't sound too bad, but I've renamed my episodes a few times over the history of the channel, and I don't really want to do that anymore. It feels pretty perfect that I am coming back from a big hiatus video-wise, not including Vlogmas, and I'm starting on my favorite number, and it's 2026, so this being WIP update number 26 just seems perfect. So we're gonna go with it. But yeah, so anyway, it's been a while since I've sat down and done one of these. I did record videos for Vlogmas. I don't remember I can't orient myself for which corner it'll pop up in, but I will put a little iCard thingy up here for the Vlogmas 2025 playlist. We got a few videos out for it, and I think I made it about halfway through the month as far as videos, maybe. There were more that I recorded, but you guys will never see those because I just did not have the brain capacity and the energy there at the end of the month to edit them. You know, holidays, end of the year, just super busy, and yeah, I kept pushing it off, and then realized by the time that I, kind of had a little bit of time that I was going to be rushing at the end of the year to edit and upload, and we were throwing a party, so I didn't really have time for that. So yeah, there's some stuff that, you guys just unfortunately have missed out on. Not a lot, though. And the one important thing you missed, I'm going to catch you up on. So, kind of an abrupt ending to Vlogmas, but I'm feeling really good about coming back and recording. I don't know how often this will be at all. I was hoping that I could get 2 videos out this month, a WIP update and then also like a craft with me or something, but I don't know, we'll see. For now, I'm just happy that I have the time to get a WIP update done and show you what I've been doing for the first 15 days of the year. So I don't know that I said it. This is take 2, so now I'm, of course, going to be confused with what I said and what was in the last take. But I don't know that I said today's date. It is Friday, January the 16th, 2026. It's like 3 in the afternoon, so I'm going to try to record this, like, in one go. Hopefully I won't have to start over. Because the sunlight will be gone soon, and I want to do it with natural light because our lights are very yellow in here. Okay, I think the only other admin thing to say, well, 2 things. Because it's been a while, I haven't really, before Vlogmas, I haven't recorded since like 2022. So, yeah, in case you've never seen any of my videos here before, hi, my name is Zakia. I am 29 years old. I really had to think about it. I'm 29, and I live in Alabama. I have a boyfriend and a 1.5-year-old daughter, who I will reference on here as Kiddo or Baby Wing. Yeah, so that is that, and more stuff you'll just kind of learn along the way. I can't really think of anything. My favorite color is yellow. I love butterflies. That's where Ladywing comes from. And yeah, I am a multi-crafter. I learned how to, well, the first craft I ever learned was, I guess, would you call that needlepoint? It was like sewing on a plastic canvas. I have a little 4-H bag that I did when I was in school, but it's in Baby Wing's room and I don't feel like getting up. So at some point I will have to bring that on here to show you. I think it's the only thing that I still have that I made from then, but yeah, so I'll have to share that at some point. But yeah, after that, kind of the main crafts that I picked up and stuck with, I learned how to crochet and knit in 2014, in the fall of 2013. And then I learned how to spin at the beginning of 2018, and then I learned cross stitch like a few months later in 2018. And that's kind of where my love has been since then, cross stitch and the yarn arts. So that being said, let's get into it. I only have one finished object to show you. Oh, the other admin thing, this is important, is that I try to leave links or at least some type of info for everything that I talk about down below in the description box, so you can check that out. Projects, the materials I use, any other people on the web that I mention, shops, books, TV shows, movies, all of that. I will link it down below if I talk about it. I am only going to show stuff since the beginning of 2026. So, barring this first project, everything else I have been working on since the beginning of the year. I don't know that I have starting projects, or starting photos for all of my projects that are from the beginning of the year, but we're just gonna go with it. So the finished object that I have to show you, if you watched the Vlogmas series, these will be familiar. I finished my Advent socks. So, the yarn is by Freckled Whimsy. This was their 2025 24 stripe Advent skein, and I love it. So these are done. The pattern that I used is the Vanilla Bean socks by Crazy Sock Lady Designs. I love it. It's a very simple texture pattern, easy repeat, not a lot of rows. I love it so much. So much so that I started another pair of socks with it right after. But yeah, so these are done. As you can see, they match really well. The Advent skein did come as two 50-gram skeins, so that they match. They match pretty well, I do say. I didn't count rows or anything as I was knitting them, like to compare and get them to be the same. I just did it by stripe. So yeah, they're not exactly the same, but they're close enough that I can't tell a difference. And then yeah, there was a, well yeah, see, it's already worse than the first time I recorded and showed these. So there was a contrast skein. You can see it's got a little bit of speckling, a little bit of coloring over in there. I did the contrast on the heel and the cuff. I was like, what's the other one? It's not the toe. So that is that for those socks. I think I finished them on the 23rd, the 22nd or the 23rd of December. And then I started another pair of socks on Christmas Day. So we are on to the WIPs. And like I said, I loved the vanilla bean sock pattern so much that I just started another pair of socks with it. So this is, the yarn is Legacy Fiber Arts. I do have the tag in here. Hold on. Here we go. The yarn is, whoops, Legacy Fiber Arts. Well, I guess it doesn't help if I cover it up. Legacy Fiber Arts. I love Chelsea and Sue and their knitting podcast, the Legacy Knits podcast on YouTube. Love watching them. And I have loved their yarn for years. So it's always a treat when I'm able to splurge and buy some. This colorway, or well, this is a set, I should say, and I got it as a micro skein set. So it's a 20 gram mini skein and a 50 gram main color. That's blowing out quite a bit because of the sun, but it's not the greatest as far as the lighting there, but you can kind of see in the shadow bit how speckled it is. Yeah, it's on like a cream base, and there's a lot of greens and orange and brown, and it's beautiful. I love it. And then this is the contrast color. I'm not sure if this is maybe Fox Paws, or I know they have another one that's really close. I'm not sure if maybe this is one of those or if it's just another color that they dyed specifically for this, but it's very pretty and it matches spot on with the orange speckles in the main skein, which you can kind of tell there. So yeah, I started these on Christmas Day, like I said, and I did both of the cuffs then. This has not had the main color added onto it yet because Baby Wing likes to use that one to pretend she's knitting, so I haven't had a chance to add the main skein yet. But this is what the other sock is looking like. So you can see the vanilla bean pattern going there, and I love how it's looking in this speckled yarn. I bought this yarn specifically to knit the vanilla bean sock pattern when Kay first announced that she was going to write up the pattern for them. So yeah, I'm very excited that I have started those. I don't really work on them a lot because I've been really into my stitching, and now I have cast on another knitting project. So who knows when I'll get back to the socks. I'll go ahead and talk about this other knitting project because everything after this is cross stitch and books. So we'll just finish up the knitting bit. But yeah, so this project I just started yesterday. I spent the 2 days before that swatching because I just could not find a lot of energy and time at the same moment to swatch, and then I ended up having to swatch a second day because I messed up and forgot to change the needle on the first swatch, and it was a whole thing. But I finally started this yesterday. I will have to insert a picture of what it will look like, but this is the Cabine vest by, I should know this, by Woolfolk. I was correct. So Cabine by Woolfolk, and I'm using this yarn. It's very pretty. It's a gradient. So this is Premier Puzzle. I got it from Walmart. And it's in the kickball colorway. So there you go. They had 2 skeins left, so I got both of them. I wish they had had a third, because there were a few patterns that I found that I wanted to make, and I would have needed just one more skein of yarn. I haven't seen that they added any more up there yet of this colorway, but if I ever do, I'm gonna snag it. Of course, I've started a project now, so it might not matter, but you never know. So yeah, that's the yarn. I haven't gotten to a red bit just yet. The red color kind of popped up in the cast on down there. And like I said, it is a gradient. So now we are into, excuse me, into some browns, and working back into the cream. So yeah, it's blowing out a bit, but not much to see. I'm just working on stockinette right now. What I love is that when you're done, as you could see from the picture, it's a vest, so no sleeves, and then it has a hood on it, which is definitely what sold me on it. So when you're done, you knit it on the stockinette side, but it's worn on the reverse stockinette side. So it's actually going to look like this. This is the side, that'll be seen once it's worn. And I love how it looks. I love a good reverse stockinette when you're fading colors, changing colors. It's just fun on the reverse stockinette side. So that's that. I am using, I don't know that I mentioned that, but both pairs of socks were knit and are being knit on Chowgu red lace 9-inch circulars, but they're US zeros, which is a 2.0 millimeter. And this vest I am knitting on my Chowgu red lace needles. They're the twist needles, which is just their metal needles with the red lace. And I have the needle set. It's elsewhere, but I have the interchangeable needle set for the Chowgu twist. And back in the day, I was like, back when it cost only $100. I know it costs more than that by now, but not that $100 was cheap, but like I said, it's cheaper than they are now, I know. But anyway, when I bought it, I didn't use a lot of the bigger size needles, but I was like, I'm getting the full set, because Chowgu has it where you can order the small needles or the large needles just by themselves. You don't have to buy the whole set. But yeah, I was like, if I'm doing it, I'm gonna buy the whole thing. And over the years, every once in a while, it comes in handy. So this is one of those times. I'm using, sorry, I have to find the markings. US 10s, which are 6 millimeter needles, because this is bulky yarn. So yeah, I am knitting the 48-inch bust size, and we're just going. I didn't exactly get gauge, so I'm knitting one size up to account for that, and I'm just crossing my fingers that I have enough yarn. So that's how we're doing that. The other thing that I wanted to say is that at the bottom of this, the pattern, you just start knitting. But if you know anything about knitting, if you're experienced or not. For the knitters out there, that's what I'm trying to say. For the knitters out there, you'll know that stockinette rolls at the bottom of something. So I added in some ribbing. I think I did like 3 rounds of ribbing and then started into the stockinette. So as you can see, it doesn't roll. Yeah. Depending on how the yarn situation goes, I might add a little bit of ribbing around the like sleeve opening or arm opening thing, whatever they're called. But we'll see about the yarn. I'm hoping I have enough yarn to be able to do the hood. That's mostly what I'm worried about. Yeah, so that is all for knitting. So next, let's talk cross stitch. So, okay. Yawning. Okay, so my new year, new start. We're starting from the beginning of the year. So, I'm just going to start in chronological order, the way that I worked on them. I didn't think to grab my tablet, so, and the sun is weird, so I'm just going to insert a picture. So here's a picture of what this project will look like. This, like I said, this was my new year, new start. So I started it on January 1st. This is my main project for the year, which is hilarious because it's not the one that I've worked on the most so far this year. But this is my main project for the year because it is a gift for my boyfriend. I'm hoping that it's going to be a Christmas gift. I was at first hoping a birthday gift, but I just do not stitch fast enough, focus enough, or have enough time, enough free time between the beginning of the year and his birthday, which is at the end of June. It's just not going to work out. So I'm going to push, and I'm going to really hope that I can get it done as a Christmas present this year. We'll see. But anyway, here's a picture of what it will look like when it's finished. This is Stained Glass Owl by Stitching Jewels Designs. Their shop is on Etsy. And yeah, I bought like, I don't even know how many patterns from them within like 2 or 3 days. It was probably like close to 10 patterns. Don't ask me when I'm going to stitch them. I have no idea. A couple of them I know, and past that, no idea. So, anyway, that was what it will look like. It's perfect for him. So, yeah, I have been searching for an owl that would be perfect for him for years. I don't know how long Jules has had this pattern on their shop, but, like, it was perfect. Perfect timing, just everything. So anyway, all that to say, I am here. So I don't know how many stitches this is. I don't have my tablet, and that wasn't smart. We're gonna pause because this is necessary. Okay, so while I pull this up though, I will mention that this is 25 count. I'm stitching it 1/1 full cross, and let's see, owl. So I have done 746 stitches out of 64,500, and I'm at 1.16%. So not a lot at all. I did the math, and in order for me to finish this by his birthday, I was gonna have to do like 400 stitches a day. And like, there's no way. There's just no way. So yeah. We're gonna push for Christmas. There's just no way that I can stick to it for that long. Like, I could. It's not that I shouldn't say can't in that sense, but like, I know me. I'm a multi-crafter for a reason. I have multiple WIPs for a reason. My interests change, and like, there's no way that I am going to be able to stick with this like constant. I would love to try for daily stitches. I don't know. Maybe I'll try that in February. Or maybe I will do something like what Crafty Gaming Jamie is doing. I just watched their video this morning, and they are doing their rotation. They have like 10 WIPs for the year, and every month they want to touch every WIP, and so it's like 1,500 stitches, and then they move on. And I'm kind of thinking maybe I should do something like that. So I don't know. I haven't decided yet. My Crafty Mojo is all over the place. I was pretty gung-ho on stitching, and then I think I was doing too much stitching and I burnt out, and now I've started a vest, which I really want to finish because it's still cold. So I don't know when all these plans and things are going to happen, but we just gonna keep flitting around from project to project, I guess. They'll all get done eventually, right? The only other thing to mention about the owl is that the floss, I'm using the called for DMC. Next project. Hold, please. I feel like I passed it. Oh, it's right here. So I will insert a picture again. So many yawns, guys. Picture here of what it will look like when it's done. This is the second time that I am stitching this piece. I stitched it the first time, and the way I stitched, my mom had already said she wanted me to stitch her one. So I knew I was going to stitch it twice, and the way that I was stitching the first one, I felt like it should go to her because the hair looked like her hair with the gray that I chose. That'll make sense in a second. So this one, I chose a darker gray to accent the hair. I keep having to clear my throat, so sorry about that. About all the weird cuts. There's a lot of yawns and clearing my throat happening today. So here's where I am with African Woman. That's what I'm calling the pattern. That's what was on the Etsy page. I don't know that there's a different name for it, but I've just been calling it African Woman. It's by digitizing everything on Etsy. But like when you go to search it, if you search the shop, or when you see it down below, everything like has the G cut off because they ran out of the character limit, I guess. But anyway, this is where I am on the second one. So the skin and the facial features, like her body outline and all of the facial features, minus the lips, are 3371 DMC colors. The hair is 310 and the gray is 37.99, and the lips are 814. So that's that. It was charted as 3 colors. We added the red lips, and then I switched the body and the hair. They had the 310 for the body outline and the hair in 3371, and I switched it to look more like me. So, oh well, and my mom, but you know, me, because at first it was for me. So yeah, that's where I am on the second one. I think I'm done with all of this as far as outlining. I just have to go back and fill in the gray in the hair. So yeah. that is that. The fabric is 32 count light mocha linen. From Zweigart. There we go. I was like, well, who's the dyer? It's from Zweigart. And then I have my floss for it in a Floss Buddy by Bags Plus. This is from a different project. Yeah, and then we thought about doing an outline color and a fill-in color for the lips, and I felt like the outline color was good. So we went with that. Oh, let me put my needle minder back on here. And because I have started a couple projects and have just been kind of moving projects around in frames, I found this wooden hoop in my like WIP box, and yeah, that's what, sorry, I have to fold this better because my needles are going to come sliding off of this. Yeah, so anyway, that's what it's going to be stitched in now, is a hoop. And I made sure that it got a project bag. So this is it's actually a book sleeve from Love You More Studios. It's actually a book sleeve, but back in the day, these got super popular to use as cross-stitch project bags. So I have a bunch of them. Maybe you'll see them over time as I pull them out of the WIP box. So I started stained glass owl on the 1st, and then I switched after a few days and worked on African woman for a little bit. I know I said 32 count linen. I'm stitching it 2/2, which means 2 strands of floss over 2 fabric threads. If you need more info, I would suggest Googling it or going on YouTube. Yeah, and so after a few days of that, I went back to stained glass owl for a little bit, and then for like 60 stitches, and then the whole time that I was supposed to be working on the owl, all I could think was sorry, I'm realizing that one of the projects I pulled out to show you guys, I haven't actually worked on this year. But it's what I'm going to switch to next, so we're still going to talk about it. Okay, but anyway, so I was working on the owl, and I could not stop thinking about a new start that I was supposed to have, another new start that I was supposed to have, because it is part of a stitch along that a Twitch streamer, her name is Ziristana, she is hosting a stitch along this year for the Elemental Dragon pattern series from Ink Circles. So you can stitch any of the dragons. There's water, fire, earth, and air, the elements, and yeah, you know, whatever fabric, whatever floss, we're just stitching that pattern series basically. So mine is still on the frame, and honestly, with how the day is going, this might end up being what I stitch on, because of course now that I've recorded, I can stitch. I don't know, I say that, but I think I'm going to switch projects. Anyway, this is still on the frame, actually. So let me take this out. I'll tell you the details while I take it out of the frame, because I want you to be able to see all of it, to be able to see what I've done so far. So this is the fire pattern for Elemental Dragons, again by Ink Circles. I will put a picture in here of what it'll look like finished. I am using some floss that I was gifted years ago. If y'all were here kind of right before I went on hiatus, I got a giant box that I nicknamed the gift box of goodies. And in it was an entire hank of Silks For You silk in the color PR034, which is a beautiful color. So I decided that that was what I was going to use to stitch this. I'm not doing anything fancy as far as how I'm stitching it. For me, I usually will switch to doing one stitch at a time, like fully crossing it, and then going to the next stitch when I use variegated, like hand-dyed flosses. I'm not doing this for this one because I just don't feel like stitching that way for this project. And then also the variegation is not so much that I am worried about that. Like I'm still loop starting and everything with this floss. Yeah, I'm just not really worried about that because the variegation is there, but it's not so much there that someone, like a non-stitcher, will never notice. And even other stitchers will probably not think to look that close for it. And I have a whole hank of it. I've already done almost a whole nother project with the floss, and I still have so much of it. So, yeah, so I'm not being stingy about it. I'm just using it to stitch. And it's fantastic. I love stitching with silk. It's very nice to work with. So, yeah, here is where I am so far. That's why I had the tablet out, so that I could tell you where I'm at stats-wise. Oh, I will mention also, this fabric is also by Zweigart. It's a printed fabric. It's 32 count vintage country mocha. I bought it off of an Etsy shop. I didn't realize that that's what it was. I apparently did not pay that much attention to it, but it's okay. So it's 32 count vintage country mocha, and it is even weave, which I love. I love even weave, y'all. Back in the day, I was very all for linen because of how linen takes color. It dyes deeper and more saturated than even weave, but I love stitching on even weaves. So you can't necessarily, I think you can kind of see the modeling on the fabric, and like I said, it's printed, so this side is modeled and the back is just plain. And there's the back of my work. Looking pretty good. I like it. So yeah, that's where I'm at. This is 1,700 stitches exactly, and I'm at 28.46%. So I'm over a quarter of the way done already, and I've only worked on this project 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, and the 5th day I only did 17 stitches. So yeah, I am loving this project. I forgot how much I love ink circles, but I'm super excited to be working on one of Tracy Horner's patterns again. I think that I'm going to do all 4, and I'm kind of thinking I want all of them to be on the same fabric. Okay, I had to go and delete some files off of my laptop because it warned me that it was going to stop soon. So, anyway, I was just saying I love this, and I think I'm going to do all 4. Haven't figured out if I'm going to do them on the same fabric or not. Definitely different flosses though. But yeah, so there is that. There's no like time frame on this sale. It's just for the whole year. It's for 2026. So obviously I'm going to aim to finish this one. I did fire first because I knew I wanted to do it with the red floss, and it just made the most sense. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do about. I might start another one, is where I was going with that, after I finish this one, because clearly I'm gonna stitch it very quickly. But I don't know. I don't know which one, and I don't know what floss. I kind of want to splurge and stitch the rest of them in silk also, but I don't want them to be more variegated than this one is, because I want them to be cohesive in that sense too. So I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But I feel like it's fine that I did fire, because I'm a Sagittarius and it's a fire sign, so I'm okay with it. Okay, so I have one more cross stitch project that I'm going to show you, and then we're going to talk about my Christmas present to myself, and then we're going to talk about books really quick, because this is getting close to an hour, and also the sun is leaving. Okay. So the last cross stitch project that I have to show you, I actually have not worked on yet this year, but like I said, I think it's what I'm going to be switching back to. Out of all of the cross stitch projects that I have up here right now, kind of like the order I worked on them, this one was before Stained Glass Owl. So it was kind of that first one out of the set that I worked on, so I want to come back around to it, and I think that's what I'm going to pick up. So again, I will insert a picture here of what it's going to look like. This is Small Library. This is one of the patterns that I bought from Stitching Jules Designs. So there is a full library pattern. It's called Library. But I found Small Library first, and I loved it, and I bought it. And then after I bought it, like 6 patterns or something from Jules, I went back to the shop and naturally found more patterns. But one of the ones that I ran across was Library, which is clearly like the full version. Like this is a crop basically, and yeah, so I bought Library. I'm sure you guessed, and that one will be stitched for me. Small Library I'm going to stitch for my daughter and stepdaughter's like bookshelf. So here it is so far, and I really can fold it up a bit more even. There we go. So this is what I have so far. Where's the tablet? I'm stitching this on 18 count white Aida. This is 2/1 in DMC 550. Here we go. Okay, I am 2,787 stitches out of 11,773, and that puts me at 23.67%. So this one I'm almost at a quarter done. So I definitely feel like I'll get there on this rotation. Like I said, I haven't worked on this yet this month, so here we go. I'm excited to get back to it though. It's a fun one to stitch. You can already start to see the books coming in and the top of the archway. And yeah, like it's pretty symmetrical in the sense that the archway is in the middle. So I have, this much width to go on this other side, and then it's just working it down. I'm not sure if I'm going to come back up here in a little bit, or if I'm going to keep working on the archway. Not really sure. I might actually set the hoop to, the Q-snap to be over here, and try to get this other side. Maybe I'll try to get to the other corner over here. I think that's what I want to do, and see the full width of the piece. So yeah, that's that. Not much else to say about it, really. Like I said, DMC 550. It's a monochromatic pattern. Yeah, I already have the pattern. I already bought the pattern. I already had floss that I want to use for library, because before I found the full version of library, I was going to stitch this for myself. And so I, of course, already had a game plan. And that game plan is now in play for a library, since that one is for me. But yeah, I already bought the fabric. I'm also doing it on 18 count, but it's on like a brown color, or maybe it's called oatmeal, I'm not sure, but it's on a different color of 18 count. And yeah, I'm doing it in a different color floss, but I don't want to start it before I finish this one. I don't know how that's gonna work, because I wrote it in my planner that I was gonna start it this month. So I don't know, we'll just see if I break down like I did for the fire dragons. We'll see. But yeah, so that's that. I'm gonna get to working on small library after I'm done recording. So the last thing that's cross stitch related is that I bought a Kay's Creation Z frame with the clamp. I bought mine off of Lindy Stitches, off of her online shop. There we go. Yeah, and I love it. It smells so nice. Yeah, it's great. I love it. Loving the clamps and everything. It has, I forget what these are called, but these. So it's easy to adjust and everything. And the, clamp works really well. I can adjust really easily how I want, the project to be angled, because I do find that I have to change it when I'm at a table versus if I'm like in bed with it in my lap. So yeah, so far I'm very much enjoying it. So like I said, I bought mine from Lindy Stitches. Of course, they will be linked down below. Yeah, not really anything else to say about that. I'm loving it, and it was worth it. It was a Christmas present to myself, and yeah, I'm in love. Okay, so real quick on books. I'm not going to talk about anything like in detail, mostly because I also don't remember what I rated most of these books. But in my where you can find me links down below in the description box, I do have my Goodreads profile linked. Feel free to look over there if you like, for the books that I've read so far this year. And, or before. I've been on Goodreads for a while. 2010? It's been a while. I don't really use it anymore like I used to. I used to be in a lot of the groups and things. I don't do that anymore. But I do still track my books on there, because I do have a Kindle, and so they're linked. It just makes it easier for me. Plus, it is nice that all of my info from the last 15 years is on there. That is also very helpful. I don't know why I opened my Kindle. I don't really need to right now. But I don't remember if I mentioned it in Vlogmas or not, but my mom got both of us new Kindles they were birthday I got mine close to her birthday because that's when she ordered them. But it was my birthday present. I just got it months early. And let me tell you, it was the game changer that we thought it was going to be for us. We have always been big readers, but yeah, over the last few years, we just really have needed something to like kick us back into gear when it came to reading. So, you know, we used to do a lot of reading on our phones and stuff, and you just get distracted with all the other notifications, etc. So, we have Kindles. I guess it's just the regular Kindle. I don't think it's a special one or anything. It's the 6-inch Kindle. So, if that helps when you're looking up the different ones, it's the one that's 6 inches. Because we wanted it to be tiny and like perfectly handheld. It's great. So, last year, like I said, we got these early July, and I set my book goal, like, for the whole year, but basically from July when we got these, I set my book goal for 25 books, and I did 27. So, like, already, you know, it has shown that it's really making a difference in my reading. So this year's goal is 69 books because I couldn't think of a good number. So last year was 25 because I had started in July, and I was like, I feel like I can definitely do 50. So I wanted it to be a bigger goal than 50, but I was like, do I want to do 75? I didn't want to do 100. And I was like, do I want to do 75? Like, at the time, it just, like, wasn't clicking. And so, me being me, I was like, well, we should just do 69. So, that is now my goal, is 69 books. And I'm at 6 books done so far. I think I'm like 2 or 3 books ahead. Now I've got the sniffles, and Floss Tube Itchy Nose has started, and I think that means it's time to be done. The only books that I will absolutely mention on here, and not because the other ones I have read since are bad, but because these 3 books, this 1 book series, it messed up my head. Like, I could not stop thinking about these characters and the things that happened and how all of the characters are linked in all of the books. I could not stop thinking about all of that for like a week after I finished the 3rd book. So that is the Accidents Happen series by Jessica Cage, I think. Hold on, let me look real quick. Yeah, by Jessica Cage. So the first, and I think I talked about, I think when I talked about these during Vlogmas, it was one that you guys have not seen. The first book is I Accidentally Summoned a Demon Boyfriend. The second book is I Accidentally Hooked Up with a Vampire, and the third one is I Accidentally Hired a Shadow Walker. I'm sure I flashed all of those on the screen by now, but guys, I love them so much. I'm a little mad that I found them when I did and started them when I did, though, because there's a 4th book and it doesn't come out until the end of May. So now I have to wait until the end of May. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to reread all of the books before the 4th one comes out or not. I haven't decided yet. We'll see where I am in my reading when May comes around, because they were so good. I read them all within a couple weeks, I think, at the end of the year, and then the 3rd one was the first book that I finished in 2026. So I don't know. I'll see about rereading them again later in the year. But yeah, I was just so smitten on those. You can tell from the names that there's, you know, paranormal fantasy world stuff happening. Shadow walkers, vampires, demons. So magic, lots of magic. I loved them. And it sent me on such a mental spin afterwards that I've only been reading erotica because I have other like fantasy world books that I want to read, and now I'm like terrified that I'm gonna mix them up. So yeah, I think after the current book that I'm on, I'm gonna go back to reading Wicked. I have enough space in my Kindle Unlimited now that I was able to borrow it again. The first time when I started reading Wicked, which is by Gregory Maguire, it's the book that the play, the movies recently are based on. But anyway, when I started reading it, it was a library loan, and that ended. And so now I have it on Kindle Unlimited to finish. So yeah. And here we are, right in an hour. So yay me, I did it. I was going to talk a little bit more about some of the other books, but honestly, it's all just erotica. They're all like either 3 or 4 stars. Like, they're what you'd expect. Even like those first couple of books that I read, I still was thinking about the Accidents Happen series. So that should tell you. Those books really stuck with me. They were so good. But yeah, wow. I love how you can tell just from the lighting that it is already later. It is right after 4 p.m. I still need to go clean up the front room a little bit before Baby Wing gets back from Grandma's. So I think this is a good place to call it. Thanks to everyone that made it this far for hanging out with me. And I'm not sure when I'll record again. Maybe there will be a Craft With Me video sometime before the month is out. We'll see. If not, it'll probably be the next WIP update. I think I'm going to do these monthly. Just because that'll give me more time to actually have some progress to show you guys. Hopefully. So, yeah, look out for the next video to hopefully be a craft with me, and if not, I'll see you again soon with some more project updates. And until then, stay safe. I wish you well, and happy making, y'all. Bye.